in 18th-century Britain before the novel had fully emerged as a recognized literary form with established conventions. A range of experimental prose fiction appeared. Among these was The Adventures of Peregrine Pickle, written by the author and physician Tobias Smollett in 1751. This work belongs to the picaresque genre, which forgoes a continuous plot in favor of a series of episodic adventures that reveal or satirize aspects of contemporary society. In such narratives, the protagonist rarely undergoes meaningful development. Instead, they move from episode to episode, largely unchanged, serving as a lens through which the author critiques social norms, hierarchies, and moral codes. The story opens with Peregrine as a young country gentleman, carefree, egotistical, defiant of authority, and eager for adventure. He detests his cruel, indifferent mother and morally dubious brother who feel equally antagonistic toward him, while his father is apathetic, concerned with nothing or no one. When family tensions reach a breaking point, Peregrine is taken in by his eccentric and affectionate uncle, Commodore Hawser Trunnion, who raises him on his sprawling estate. Trunnion is an odd figure, a former seaman. He runs his household as though it were a warship, firing cannons from the roof daily, a practice his neighbors cannot challenge due to his wealth and influence. Also living in the house are Trunnion's old shipmates, Lieutenant Hatchway and boatswain Tom Pipes, whose conversations are entirely peppered with nautical jargon, puns, and references. Trunnion indulges Peregrine without restraint, raising him as befits the uppermost echelons of society, where privilege seemingly shields him from consequences. Peregrine's favorite pastime is playing pranks on those around him. Here, it is worth noting that some humor does not translate well across centuries. 18th-century audiences often found violent acts hilarious in ways modern readers may find disturbing. Peregrine's mischief, though extreme, is intended by Smollett as social commentary on cruelty, greed, and foolishness. In one episode, Peregrine and friends steal fruit from a peasant and beat him to death when he protests, laughing at the misfortune that befalls the man's family. While shocking, this behavior was understood as exaggerated satire rather than pure sociopathy. After life with Trunnion, Peregrine goes to Oxford, earns his degree, and embarks on the grand tour of Europe, though he mostly lingers in Paris, chazzing women, drinking excessively, and engaging in pranks. George Orwell recounts one infamous episode. An English painter, imprisoned in the Bastille for a trivial offense, is tricked by Peregrine into believing he has been sentenced to execution by wheel, only later to be informed his punishment is commuted to castration. Returning to England, Peregrine continues a life of deception, swindling wealthy Londoners with a fake fortune teller and posing as a doctor in Bath, giving Smollett a humorous chance to lampoon his own profession. Amid this chaos, he falls in love with the beautiful heiress Emilia, who reciprocates his feelings. The narrative is briefly interrupted by the Memoirs of a Lady of Quality, an interpolated story by Frances Vane, Viscountess Vane, recounting the romantic escapades of an anonymous noblewoman in the amatory fiction style. Yet Peregrine's fortunes eventually collapse. He loses his wealth, falls into debt, and is imprisoned in the Fleet Debtors' prison. The novel concludes with a dramatic reversal. Peregrine unexpectedly inherits £80,000 from his father, roughly $20 million, today, allowing him to repay his debts and marry Emilia. His prison experience leaves him chastened, and he resolves to abandon his reckless and antisocial ways. Though Peregrine Pickle may not entirely conform to modern tastes, it remains a fascinating artifact of literary history. Some secondary characters serve as caricatures of Smollett's rivals, authors like Henry Fielding, whose fame eclipsed his own. The novel also influenced major writers of the next century. Charles Dickens, for example, reportedly based Wemmick, the guarded yet secretly kind assistant to the merciless Mr. Jaggers in Great Expectations, on Trunnion. Thank you for watching. If you enjoy this video, leave a like and subscribe.